Hey lovers, thanks for joining us today. Hope everyone's staying nice and warm on this very chilly, wintry feeling day. Thank you to everybody for popping in some comments and questions and things on our IG story yesterday. It's always nice to interact with people, seeing as though we're not getting to see many people during the week these days. So one of the things we put out there yesterday was, what is your biggest struggle with wedding planning so far? And before we get too serious, I just have to share with you our hands down favourite interaction of the year was biggest struggle so far is finding a fiance. Boom, doesn't get any better than that. It's a good start. You can't really plan a wedding without a fiance. So thank you for that one. On a more serious note, deciding what flowers I want for my bouquet was one of the questions, or one of the input that we had from a bride. I guess rather than putting so much pressure on yourself to choose exactly what flowers in particular it is that you want, I think focus more on a style and an overall vibe. There's lots of different aspects that will go into choosing the flowers for your bouquet. Obviously seasonal availability, price point, depending on what your budget is, what flowers your florist suggests for you, which is probably more important in terms of bouquet style. So if you are, a taller bride, if you are a shorter bride, if you're going to have the big poofy dress, or you're going to have something a little bit more slimline, and then think about what your personality is. Whether you want something that's going to be really structured, really tight and uniform, whether you're wanting something that's a little bit more kind of soft and romantic, a little bit maybe free flowing, or whether you want to go full whimsical boho, kind of out there, something that's really wide or really tall, has a lot of cascade detail and that sort of thing. So maybe more important than yourself choosing what flowers is right for your bouquet, maybe thinking more about the style and the overall look that you wanted to achieve, and then let your florist choose the flowers for you. I always think that that's a little bit less stressful for you, rather than trawling through Google and looking at all these different images of flower types. Just think more about the style of the actual bouquet that you want. Jump on Pinterest, Instagram, all the other social platforms. That's a really good place to go to, see lots of bouquets and see brides holding the bouquets and see how they look and how it is that you want to look on your day. So don't get too weighed down with choosing the flowers that you want for your bouquet, maybe more choosing the bouquet you want for yourself. Another one we had was biggest struggle so far is dealing with the COVID uncertainty. Oh, my heart goes out to you. It's just, I feel like everything at the moment is so uncertain. I know that for me personally, my wedding's not until the middle of next year, but I feel like I've already visualized so much of what my day is going to look like and how I'm going to feel on the day, and the things that I want for myself for my day. I'm pretty confident that my date's going to be okay. So I can't even imagine what it would feel like to have a wedding planned and have put all that effort in for a wedding that's has been postponed, is going to be postponed. You're not sure if it's going to be postponed. I guess all we do know, the certainty we do have at the moment, is that from July we'll be able to have up to 100 guests, and we are anticipating from October, November that numbers will be well over 100, hopefully up to 250, 300 would be ideal. So I do feel like November, December brides, go ahead with your planning, do everything you need to do. I know that there's a lot of suppliers are doing like tentative bookings, if you like, so popping down a deposit and then figuring out the details later. So I guess that way you have your date locked in, and you can work things out as you go. And if you do need to postpone your date, hopefully not, but if you do, then at least you'll have your key suppliers already there and you can just postpone. But yeah, I'm sorry, there's no real great answer I can give you for that one, but I know that the COVID uncertainty is a real stress for a lot of people in so many different ways. We did say, ask us something about wedding planning or flowers in general, and this didn't need to be, this could be anything related at all. We had one of our brides say that she was looking for something that was new, fresh, unique, something that was on trend, and something that hasn't been done a million times. This is an interesting one. Nothing that we make is ever going to look exactly like something else that we made. So So no two brides are the same, no two flowers are the same. Everything that we make is for each wedding and each bride. We're not a generic run-of-the-mill florist. It's not like we have a book and you flick through it and say, I'll have this, this, this. It's absolutely not like that with us. We like to sit down with each bride and figure out what it is that they want. In terms of something that's fresh, unique, on trend, all those kind of things, we do style concept. Style concept is complementary with our 10K plus brides, so that's the brides that are spending $10,000 or above. So that's complementary with them. Now, what style concept means is that there's a lot of meetings back and forward. So with yourself, with us, sitting down, getting to know you more, knowing what your personal style is, making and refining multiple vision boards. So whether it be color palette, physical style, whether it be different textures, different layering, different things we're bringing in arbors or extra higher pieces, or whether it's lighting, and there's so many different aspects that go into a style concept. Coming up with mock-ups, changing mock-ups, sitting down with you and going through what you do and you don't like. There's venue walkthroughs, showing you what your different options are, making changes to it. So style concept is extremely elaborate. 8 to 10 hours is roughly what it will be for style concept. Goes up to 20, 30, 40 hours if we're styling the whole wedding, kind of start to finish. What you dress, colour palette, shoes, flowers, all the bits and pieces. So there really is so much, just in terms of coming up with a concept for a ceremony arbor or a bridal table or a bar piece, or a custom install that's hanging from the ceiling, or whether it be something that's built on a wall or whatever it is. Something like that, you're probably looking at 8 to 10 hours of styling. So like I said, 10K plus brides, it's complimentary. Anyone under the 10K spend, you're looking at an hourly rate for that. So if that is something you're interested in, let us know. And obviously we're very happy to come up with ideas. We have loads of inspiration. We always have lots of ideas going on up here. So it is always nice to pop it down on paper. But we do unfortunately have to think about what the cost of style concept is and coming up with something that's completely you, what it is that you want for your day. The next one was, what are some cheap floral options and what flowers are pricey than others? So this is 2 segments. I'm going to talk about flowers that are pricier first. So your more expensive flowers are your hydrangea, your David Austin roses, your Ecuadorian roses, your peonies, your dried florals, pampas grass, phragmites, all those kind of things. So they're all of your more expensive flowers. Now in terms of cheap floral options, cheap really isn't something that we specialise in. Don't really like the word cheap, to be honest. Cheap weddings, doesn't really make me feel very comfortable. Let's say more cost effective. So we'll always use seasonal flowers, and we are, as a wedding florist, we only do weddings, which I'm sure you all know. We don't have a retail store, we don't do retail at all, just weddings. We're really quite reasonably priced. You have your florists that are priced up here for weddings, and you have your retail florists, I guess, that don't really specialise in weddings, and they're somewhere down here. We're kind of somewhere in the middle. So we offer an amazing service, products, quality, whole round wedding planning, floral setup, all of that. So we try and be as reasonably priced as we can. So in terms of cheaper or more cost-effective flowers, so your seasonal field flowers, your carnations, alstro, some of your little winter bulbs, flowers that grow in a field, that grow, kind of mass, they're definitely more cost-effective, but quality is the most important thing for us. So you can choose any of those cost-effective flowers, and yes, they are going to be cheaper, but the quality is super important. So everything we purchase is premium. It's from local growers that we trust. It's from importers that we trust, that we know the flowers are going to get here, and they're looking amazing. Obviously, they're a natural product, so nothing's ever going to be exactly perfect, like what a fake flower might be, or a silk flower. It is a natural product. You have to think, if you are using these more cost-effective flowers, are they going to give you the overall look it is that you're wanting? So if we don't include any of the expensive flowers, and we're only including all of the kind of filler flowers or all of your more cost-effective little bits and pieces, is it going to give you the look that you're after? So that's a really important thing to think about. In terms of roses, yeah, there are definitely cheaper roses. So they're a really small head. They usually come quite bruised, they're a bit dehydrated, they don't last very long, they don't open up properly. So for that reason, you end up using so many more of them rather than, a few less if we're using the bigger roses or the bigger flowers. So yes, you can use the cheaper roses, but they're not really going to fill your arrangements up or look as beautiful. And your flowers need to last the day. There's absolutely no point in having a flower that's only going to last you, a couple of hours because it's poor quality. They need to last the whole day. And that's something that we pride ourselves on. All of our flowers last the day, the next day, and well into the next week. So you need to ask yourself the question, are you prepared to risk having average flowers that aren't good quality, that are cheap, for your special day? I know for us, we're not prepared to risk that for your wedding, and certainly not for our reputation either. So in terms of trying to find cheap floral options, I think you're better off scaling down, removing items, thinking about what you really need, what you really want. What we need and want are two separate things, and sometimes you just can't achieve the look that you might be wanting on the budget that you might have. So you maybe need to consider taking some things off. Now, something I did want to talk about, so our usual week and flower conditioning. There are some people that, they might make a joke or say in passing, oh, but you just turn up on the day with flowers for our wedding, and it just kind of comes to life. It's absolutely not that. There's so much behind the scenes that goes on. It's choosing exactly the right colour tones. It's contacting the suppliers, knowing what quantities we need. And the same with foliages, getting the flowers in. And some flowers take 10 days, 7 days, 14 days to open. So we need to make sure we get those flowers in with enough time to open up. It's conditioning the flowers, cutting the stems every day, changing the water, making sure the temperature's right and everything's there so that they do open up and so that they last, that they can survive the elements once they get out of here. So traditionally or normally on a wedding week, we'll get a lot of flowers come in like on the Tuesday. So we'll spend the whole day Tuesday prepping everything, making sure that they're all happy. Wednesday, picking up those softer flowers. Thursday, picking up more of those softer flowers again. And there's this whole process involved with opening them and conditioning them. And then the night before your wedding or the morning of your wedding, there might be some flowers that are really touchy that have to be kind of put in at the last minute that we can't get any earlier. So it's this whole process before we even get there to your wedding. So we don't just pick up the cheapest flowers and kind of throw it all together on the day. It's a huge process involved, and that's why our flowers do last and why everything looks so amazing and why people are always so happy, because we do put that care in. So that's just something I wanted to share with you guys, that cheap isn't always better. Well, cheap is not usually the best. If you do want something that's cheap, we're probably not the right florist for you. We like to be reasonably priced but provide a really amazing product and something that is going to last your day. So that's a few little bits and pieces from yesterday's IG story. So thanks again for everyone for writing into us. If you have any other questions, comments, if you want to share anything with us or any struggles that you're facing, we're here, so feel free to drop us a line. And until then, stay safe, stay warm, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.